The OG Fortnite island is changing again, with the new season update adding even more stuff to the island. This will be a combination of Chapter 1 Season 7 and Chapter 1 Season 8. I've got an early look for you guys at everything that will be coming, as the map will be completely different. You can see how the mini-map will look on screen here, as we've got the snow biome returning to the game, and it's actually different to how it ever was back in the original Chapter 1 map. Starting off first with the biggest and most obvious, the return of Polar Peak, except Polar Peak isn't quite the same as it was before, because we're actually maintaining some of the island locations around it, and the snow and ice won't be encroaching on some of these POIs and changing them. Greasy Grove will remain untouched, and Flush Factory will also be staying there, which means Happy Hamlet will not be coming back with this update. But as I said, Polar Peaks definitely is. It looks massive, it's a huge big ice mountain in the middle of the game, but as we get closer whilst heading towards it from the Greasy Grove side, we can see that the mountain has started to get destroyed and is covered in different zip lines, which allow us to access up in zero build mode, and chests scattered across all of the broken ice that has fallen down from Polar Peak. And at the top, Polar Peak remains, but it is kind of destroyed. In the original Chapter 1, the monster's eye could be spotted in the side of Polar Peaks, which was obviously leading up to the huge monster versus robot event, but there's no sign of the monster eye this time, so I guess he is not coming back in any shape or form. And since the top of Polar Peaks is so destroyed, and the biggest parts of that castle that originally contained the prisoner and was the home to the Ice King as he arrived on the island, these will not be accessible. But despite there being a lot of changes, there are still a lot of buildings to explore here, a lot of points to get loot, and of course, being so high up on the island, you get a great look at the whole map around you, and this will be a really popular spot to land. Back in the day, the introduction of this part of the island also introduced the Infinity Blade. Thankfully, it doesn't look like this thing is returning. It was ridiculously overpowered, so don't expect people shinging across the island just because Polar Peaks is here. But that doesn't mean we aren't getting a load of other awesome weapons from these seasons, which I'll talk about in a second, including one that hasn't been in the game for literally years. But we are also getting the return of Frosty Flight, the POI that introduced the planes, the X4 Stormwings, onto the island with their little hangars and loads of planes to jump into. Everyone landed here just to pick one of these things up to fly around the island. With loads of bright orange colored buildings, there's actually a lot of loot and a lot of area to explore here as well. So expect a lot of action in both of these new areas, and head straight to the hangars if you're wanting to get one of the planes, which is one of the new vehicles that will be available tomorrow. Expect them all over the sky, and it will definitely be completely changing how OG Fortnite feels. The snow biome will also contain a few other awesome little spots, including a giant ship submarine, which is stuck upon a big snowy mountain. There's also a few underground snowy areas to get some awesome loot and scavenge up a bit out of the way. If you want to start landing there, find yourself some weapons, and then progress into these new areas if you haven't been to them before and don't want to hop drop into them. One of my favorite things is the introduction of the crack shot cabin back in the island. Although we will not be experiencing Christmas in Fortnite with this OG season, as we jump into Chapter 5 next season, that will be the Christmas period, with hopefully loads of awesome Christmassy rewards. But if you want to get Christmas and festive early, head to Crackshot's cabin, head to that Christmas tree, and get yourself some awesome loot. If you want to have a little race around the snowy dirt track, that's available for you to do as well. Now, although this is meant to be an update for both Seasons 7 and 8, a lot of the things from the other seasons aren't really here. We don't have a volcano, we don't have a giant ship anywhere, but you can find pirate outposts dotted around the island now for additional looting spots, additional areas to heal up and have a little bit of cover in between the bigger POIs. These will also include the return of the cannonball launcher as well. You can literally shoot cannonballs at people or shoot yourself from it if you want to get around the map. And although small, in my opinion, one of the most exciting map change is that the build up to the end of live event that will be happening for this OG season is continuing to happen, with the rocket now in place at Dusty Divot at its construction site, which is where it obviously set off for the end of Chapter 1 event. And the time machine that started off in Pleasant Park, moved to the edge of Loot Lake, is now just outside the rocket at Dusty Divot, which is actually where it's going to be attached to the rocket for the live event. This update will also add new skins into the game, most likely even more remix skins between some of the most favorite OG Fortnite skins. Thank you everyone that's putting code Allier into the item shop. It is the best way to support this channel. Here's some of the concept images of remix skins that could be coming very soon. Just officially announced by Fortnite, the newest icon skin skin will be the F1 legend himself, Lewis Hamilton. You can see his collection on screen here. He's got his dog on his glider, even as his back bling, and he has an awesome real-life version to his skin and a superhero version as well. This will be coming to the item shop in just a few days' time. I've actually played a few games of COD with Lewis Hamilton. Maybe we'll have to jump into some game as an icon skin duo. Tomorrow's update will include, as I said, more weapons we're about to go over, new battle pass unlocks and more. So jumping into the weaponry, we're going to be getting the minigun back. Oh my gosh, that thing is so powerful, so fun to use. Great for destroying builds, and in no builds where you don't have any way of stopping it shooting at you, it's going to be very, very strong. The flint knock pistol, a fantastic weapon, which is super, super strong. If you stay crouched, you won't get your own knockback of the weapon on you as you fire it. But if you want to yeet around the map, you can shoot it at your feet and get a nice little boost. The quad launcher, this thing fires not one, but as the name suggests, 4 rockets out of this thing. Redeploy is returning, which I'm really excited for. It is an item, so it must take up one of the slots in your inventory, but will allow you to glide around the map and jump off of anything at any height. Great for the big tall polar peaks location, or if you just don't want to die from falling damage. So keep an eye out for that one. Buried treasure is coming back. I'll be honest, I'm really happy with how rare the legendary items are in the game. And with the introduction of buried treasure in the past, everyone has a ton of legendary loot, so expect those weapons to be a lot easier to find, as the buried treasure, once you find it, you pull it out, will send you to an X location on the map, which if you dig up will give you a chest filled with legendary weaponry, meaning a ton more people will be running around with legendary weapons from tomorrow. The poison dart trap is coming back. This thing was never that good, to be honest with you, but still a cool new addition. And there is a very strong rumor that the guided missile launcher will be coming back, a weapon that hasn't been in the game for like 2,000 days, where you shot your own rocket. You could then control the rocket and still not be anywhere near it, meaning that you could literally just camp and fire rockets at people, and you could even self-rocket ride. It wasn't easy, but you can do it, and jump onto your own rocket to then fly around the map. As we're getting with every seasonal update in Fortnite OG, some things will also be removed. It's very likely that the rocket launcher and grenade launcher will be taken out because we'll have way too many explosives otherwise. They're always balancing out the loot pool, so there's not too many items floating around. And with last week's update adding the rift encounter, which allowed us to actually get the grappler glove in the game, even though it was never in chapter 1, it's starting to show us the merge of future Fortnite and old Fortnite as these seasons progress. Rift encounters are set to launch over the next few weeks, which include Scrap Knight Jules NPC with a dirt bike on the game, the Stray NPC with a kinetic blade, and even the Durburger NPC with a shockwave hammer. Can't lie, I would be absolutely buzzing to use the shockwave hammer on the OG Fortnite map. It'll make getting around so much easier. It, of course, isn't true OG Fortnite, but things from other chapters are starting to leak into the game, so make sure you're keeping an eye out for these rift encounters happening around the island as you're playing. There's a few secret unlocks in the OG Battle Pass that will all be available, most likely super cool versions of a Mega Rock, Renegade Lynx, and Lil Split, potentially fully gold styles or multicolored styles for all those people that completely max out the Battle Pass. And as we move into the 3rd week, there'll be an extra 200,000 XP worth of quests and a helmet, banner, and body pattern for the Spectra Knight OG Battle Pass skin, allowing for even more customization. All of this content will be going live tomorrow with an update to the game, but I'm lucky enough to share with you guys everything early. Then the following week will be the final map change as we transition into Season 9 and Season X as we have our final week of Fortnite OG. It's going by so quick. If you're excited for this new update, just let me know by hitting the like button and click on screen here to watch even more Fortnite OG content. This season is so much fun and there's still so much more to come, so I'll see you guys in another video.